Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to the iRacing.com series of the V8 Supercars Americas series, presented by V8's Online. I'm JD Smith with Kane Kraft by my side tonight as we get ready to bring you Week 6 action of this Americas series, and it has already been an amazing run for these gentlemen as we get ready to head down to Brands Hatch this week. It's going to be a really intense race for 27 immense laps. Kane, it's a big week, but before we jump into all the information, I want to let you guys know that tonight's broadcast will be presented in high definition, and it is brought to you by our friends from the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8's Online Superstore. Kane, it's already been an amazing season so far. We're almost at that halfway point. We will be officially at the conclusion of today's race. And of course, as you know, at the end of today's race, all the attention focuses onto the race at Bathurst next week. So a lot of things going through the drivers' minds this week in preparation for Brands Hatch this week, a track that is another legendary track all in its own. There's been loads of memorable races held at Brands Hatch in the real world and in the sim world. And so a lot of attention to today's race for the guys, and it seems to be a track that is kind of in this little split decision from what we've heard in the talks from some of the drivers on how the track feels, buddy.
Yeah, definitely a tough track for the midway point of the season. Some of the guys are finding the track pleasant, and some of them are finding it very difficult. It's been described to me as feels like you're driving a washing machine on wheels. So that sounds pretty difficult to me.
Yeah, I've heard that. I like the washing machine on wheels. I've heard the fridge on wheels from our very own friend Marty Carroll before, and it always made me laugh. But that's actually kind of what the car feels like at times. It's such a heavy race car with loads of power. I mean, let's just think about it for a second, what these guys are actually driving. A lot of times we don't really look at the car and really what all it entails. For some of the viewers that are looking, you're looking at a car that has a 5.0 liter V8 engine in it that's over 635 plus brake horsepower. This thing is loaded with power, but it is not a light and free car like you would think. It's actually got a lot of weight to it for a race car, and but this thing is just absolutely fun to drive. It is not easy. It is a very difficult car, and that is why it is the talent that you have in the V8 Supercar is so good and close, because these guys are so good. You have to be good just to be able to get this car around the track, nonetheless race it.
Yeah, definitely
it is.
Definitely a challenging car, and that is what makes it so fun. The guys that drive this car frequently, that's exactly what they say. It's tough to learn, but once you learn it, it's a very rewarding car, and definitely on a track that like Brands Hatch, like we see here today. This is definitely a challenging track. There's not a lot of room for passing, and these drivers definitely got to be patient from start to finish.
It's something that definitely takes time in getting used to and getting ready for. And these guys, I know, are going to be ready for tonight's race. Mentioned a minute ago, 27 intense laps for the race tonight. Really looking forward to it. I think the guys are really looking forward to this one as well. This will be a totally different race from what we face next week. So really looking forward to both races, but this one in particular. I really enjoyed Brands Hatch. There's a lot about the track that I really love. The famous, turn one here when you're going down and turning right and heading downhill. It's just, you're just flying. You have to wash that speed off. You get back on the speed just to wash it right back off going into turn two, the famous hairpin turn here. It's just so much fun. The guys are going to be running the Grand Prix course here at Brands Hatch. There are a few different configurations, but this will be the famous one that we run. And just real excited because I think it's going to be a really close race over the course of these 27 laps. Obviously, the cars will not need to stop for fuel or tires. They'll be able to run. This will be a heat run. And when we have those, they tend to be very, very close. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what the guy's going to bring to the table here at the race.
Yeah, the sprint races have been very, very close. The tires have been a very big part of the race here, and as we're going to see here tonight, these long races, definitely hard on the tires, and those who can manage the tires definitely fare the best in the race.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point, Kane. Saving those tires is going to be very, very important today, especially with some of the drivers describing this track as being that loose and that slippery. If it's like that with fresh tires, you're going to go ahead and imagine what it's going to be like when they wear those things out too early, and you're having to battle for the last 9 to 10 laps, of trying to get the car, and then you're trying to race down someone too. That's going to be virtually impossible. So keep your eye early in the race on who's really saving those tires, who's pushing, as it can make a huge difference in the end. Now, the session should be popping up any moment. It is. It looks like we have 3 full splits tonight, so that's awesome. 3 full splits of 20 cars, guys. Very excited about that. And lots of talent throughout the fields. And, of course, we always bring you the top split, but we always try to keep you guys updated on things that are going on around the other splits as well.
We should mention yesterday, too. Yesterday's race, I didn't get to watch the race, but I did see afterward that Nigel Baines was the winner, and I heard that it was a good, close race.
Fantastic, man. That was really good. Remember last week, Marlon McMullen took Thursday night's race and Friday night's race, and then, of course, Nigel winning yesterday. Good job for him. And what we've seen, a little bit of a trend there, is when we see somebody win on Thursday, they have not been able to win on Friday, I don't believe yet this season, but they have at least caught up into the top 5. So that does bode well for Nigel today. So we'll keep an eye on Nigel Baines and see how he's able to pull the SDC Motorsports driver and see if he's able to get up there and get a podium today. Well, I tell you what, Kane, it's this season has really been a remarkable one. I know it's the first one of 2015, but it feels a little bit different than some of the seasons in the past. I have a feel that this is a wide open championship. Usually we get around this point in the season where we're almost at the halfway point, and you kind of have a 2-car race. I feel like there's still a lot of guys that can still get crowned the championship in this. There's so many different variables that could take place, and it's still a lot of drivers' championship to win out there.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah, normally, as we get to this halfway point, it's about a 2-car race. But with this one, with Marlon in the lead, but John Emerson working his way up. But we heard from John last week, that he was going to miss a couple more races, so that's really going to bring a couple other drivers into the mix.
Yeah, that has to be a positive outlook for some of the other drivers when they're looking at the points. Where you might have thought this was going to be your John Emerson run down Marlon McMullen. Well, now, it was almost inevitable. You thought it was going to happen, but with that being said, with the new information we have, looks like that's not going to be the case. So now that brings in some other guys into the picture. I'm really excited, just real interested to see how things will shape out. And, a big race today could really boost some guys in the points. Some of them, I know a few drivers have had a little bit of bad luck. Maybe have had some good runs, but it seems like they just can't seem to catch a break, as far as getting that good run from start to finish. Seems like they're always catching. Well, let's look at the starting results for today, Kane. And as we pull those up, man. Look at the pole sitter having a little deja vu, little reminiscence of a champion's past. Sean Kelly on the pole tonight. He'll be in the number 5 machine. Starting on the outside of row 1, it'll be John Latham, who had an excellent run last week. Vale Riches starting 3rd, Ian Ford 4th. Michael Fulcher will be starting 5th. 6th, Marlon McMullen. Nathan Shartner 7th. 8 will be Tony Ottridge. Corey Preston 9th. 10th will be Curtis Chipaway. Sam Sutton 11th. 12th, Michael Cracknell. Jason Dixon 13th. 14th, Sam Collins. Dale Niche, how about that? Good to see him in the race. 15th, Adrian Hunter. 16th, 17th, it'll be Todd Arkle. Kevin Click in 18th, Joe Peak 19th, and rounding out the 20-car field is Clifton Cockrell. We're getting ready to roll. They're fired up, and it's about to drop green right here at Brands Hatch in Week 5 of the V8 Americas Series. Oh, it's a big start for the TTR driver, Sean Kelly. He is able to hold that pole spot down for a good start, and what a start it is. Side-by-side action behind him.
Ooh, Corey Preston's around.
Yeah, right now, a tough break for Corey Preston. Great side-by-side action up here in 3rd. It's the Karsk machine battling with Ian Ford in the Maverick Welding Holden, and it will be Ian Ford who has to fall back off track a few cars back for a driver that was the Red Bull machine there of, I believe, Marlon McMullen, yeah, the number 3 car. So we'll keep an eye as all the guys start to get single filed out. Marlon's got a little run right here, Kane, on Tony Ottridge here as the battle presumes between these two. Tony Ottridge is in the super black. It's a super black Ford Falcon there. It is the number 2 car for those looking on. And a great job right now from the Red Bull. That looks like a Toro Rosso paint livery there from Marlon McMullen in the Formula One. Those would know what I'm talking about. But just a really good looking paint on that car. He is really working the number 2 car there of Tony Ottridge. Right now coming around the final turn as the guys get ready to head down towards the finish line to start lap number 2 of our 27 lap race. Very tight race up here near the front. Another great battle on our hands is behind, we're about to have a race for the lead, but back here for 3rd, Vale Riches is having a time with Ian Ford. Ian really putting on, the pass happened behind them right there as Tony Ottridge able to knock down Michael Fulcher. A small mistake from Michael Fulcher, not even you almost couldn't even call it a mistake, but it was just enough. Now he's going to try to rebound. He's going to work the inside. Not going to have the momentum that he needs, and here comes a slingshot move from the outside from Marlon McMullen. They're going to go side by side. Let's see what happens as the guys head down into turn 5 up here, and it looks like Marlon McMullen will be able to hang on for a brief moment. Another run possibly from the Sim Pit Ford Falcon, and look at this, Curtis Chipaway looking for room in the Grip TV holder. Goodness gracious. Big racing all up through the mid-pack right now, and these cars are fighting all around this top 5. Man, great racing right now. Another car in danger of losing position is gaining position. Sam Sutton about to put Nathan Shartner in position. Down, and here he goes. He's going to make a run on the outside, and I don't know if he's going to have quite the momentum needed to make the pass, and he's going to have to hang tight back there in 9th for the moment. Back up near the front, Sean Kelly did a good job earning some respect there in the lead. He had a close battle for a second from John Latham in the Karsk Holden, but that was shortly lived as Sean Kelly able to break away and get a little bit of breathing room in the TTR Holden. Well, some exciting first laps here, Kane. A great way to start our race today. I'm really enjoying Vale Riches and watching him hold off Ian Ford in the Maverick Weldon Holden. Ian Ford pushing really good early in the race. Remember we talked about that tire issue. They was saving those tires. You don't want to see somebody over pushing, and I don't think we're seeing that right now. I think Ian Ford's got a good mix of the medium. He's not pushing too hard. He's hanging right in there. But there is a driver that is pushing behind him, and it's Tony Attridge. And I don't necessarily mean he's burning tires, but he's got a good pace going on right now. He is actually starting to gain. He's in the 5th position at the moment. And see if he can close the gap between him and Ian Ford there in 4th. Some of the guys that in the back of the field having a really good run at it. Michael Cracknell at the minute trying to make his move up. He's trying to get around Kevin Click in the super cheap auto Holden. And a good battle on our hands between those two drivers. And as I say that, behind Michael Cracknell, here's a move from Corey Preston. Remember, Corey got sent around early in the race, Kane, and I know he had so much going on at the beginning there. I didn't get a chance to see exactly what happened to Corey.
Yeah, I didn't get to see exactly what happened either. I just seen his car spinning off into the grass, so I don't know what caused it, but nice recovery for Corey as he's making his way back through the field.
Corey's had a lot of speed this season. He's been one of those drivers that I was meaning at the beginning of the race when I mentioned that there's been some guys that have had an excellent run this season, but for some reason or another have just had some bad luck. And that right there is no.
Oh, there he goes again.
He goes again. He's going to hit the inside retaining wall, and that tears up the front right quarter panel of the car, and he gets spun around again, avoiding traffic. And the 11 car of Corey Preston in dire straits right now. Not good for the number 11 machine.
Yeah, Corey definitely having some trouble there. Possibly take some damage from that very first spin and just maybe having some trouble controlling the car. But definitely once he hit the wall, that second time he hit it so hard, could definitely tell that he was having some trouble. And then got it back out on the track and it just went right back around.
Damage to the number 16 car of Clifton Cockrell. Not good for him. He has some significant damage to the front left quarter panel. It is completely off the car as he is in 18th position right now. Car not looking real good on speed. I think that's it's kind of working with that car a little bit. Moving back up through some of the field, seeing where some of the action is starting to happen. It starts with Sam Sutton as he looks ahead to Michael Fulcher. That is the battle for 9th. And a good one at that. You got the Dayco Holden right there trying to get around the Ford Falcon Sim Pit, Falcon right there. Oh, almost some contact between the two. The Dayco look to the inside. Let's see if Fulcher can hold his position. And Old Fast Fulcher does a good job there of holding off. Oh, we're going to go at it again. He's going to look to the inside. Still shuts the door. Good defensive driving from Michael Fulcher there. But I'll tell you what, this is not going to last long. Sam Sutton coming in. There's contact between the two cars. It's minor contact. Now he comes to the inside. It's only a matter of time, and this is going to be a pass for Sam Sutton. Sam working the inside right now. They're going to go nose to the start-finish line. And officially, it was Sam Sutton who got across the start-finish line first. And as they head down into turn 1, it is an official pass for the number 12 car of Sam Sutton in the Dayco Holden. Yeah, good run right now from Ian Ford. This has not been just recent. He has been at this cane since the drop of the green flag. And these guys were just continuing to go at it. What a job from Ian Ford to stay on, just to stay right on that car's Colton in front of him. That is Vail Riches. And I tell you what, very proud of really both these guys. Really proud of Vail for being able to hold him off. And, of course, Ian for just being able to hang up there this entire time. Here we are on lap 6, and he is right there with him. He has fallen off a hair, but he's done this once or twice already. He'll get it right back. I mean, you give him a minute, he'll be right back. But I tell you what, we mentioned earlier about Tony Attridge. Would he be able to catch up? And here he is already caught up to the Maverick Weldon Holden there of Ian Ford, and we got a really good battle on our hands for that 4th position. Here comes Tony Attridge now as they head down into turn 1, and let's see when he decides to make a move. Maybe he'll try something up here in a minute as they get past turn 2. This hairpin, not a good place to try to make something happen, a real dangerous spot here at turn 2, so we'll see what happens. Really close, bumper to bumper driving at the moment. And I tell you what, that super black Ford Falcon there, going to make it around the Maverick Weldon, holding the V and Ford here any moment. Very good defensive driving there from Ian Ford as he's able to hold the race line with content and not being pressured out of it. Marlon McMullen coming up into the picture as well there. He's coming up as well. So good midfield pack here in this race. We're currently on lap number 7 of 27. Boy, up in the front is all the number 5 car at the moment. That's Sean Kelly in the TTR Holden. He's up there all by his lonesome. Now, a few car lengths back, it is John Latham. So John Latham's still a threat in this one. The number 10 Cars Colton is right there in the picture and definitely in the rear view mirror of Sean Kelly. So just something for him to think about, though. He can't get too comfortable. Oh, I believe that to be 100% true, Kane. I really do. And it's only a matter of time. Good battle in the back of the pack kind of right now in the 15th position. Adrian Hunter has some company. Kevin Click coming up in a hurry in the super cheap auto hold. And a really wide turn through turn 1 there from Kevin. And that's going to cause some space to be built between the two. And maybe it worked out for him better than I thought. He didn't lose that much time. He really had a lot of momentum out of two. That wide turn helped him get a really good run out of two. Michael Cracknell, he's got his sights set on Todd Arkle. And ahead of them, it's, of course, Dale Niche. And I'm going to take a closer look at Dale Niche's car this week. I really like the Petronas Holden there. That number 20 machine looks really good. Of course, you know teal, my favorite color, Kane, and that's just a really cool looking Petronas Citrium or Centrium paint scheme. I like that a lot. Oh man, Sam Sutton still got his hands full. He's got a Sim Pit Ford Falcon right on him, and that is Michael Fulcher. That's a battle for 9th place, guys, looking on, so it's very valuable positions there. And got another one with Curtis Chipaway, Michael Fulcher, and Tony Ottridge, the 3-car battle. And that is a really good run there from all 3 cars. Of course, Tony Ottridge been trying to run down Ian Ford for a while. He got kind of close. And Ian Ford able to get a little bit of daylight, Kane. A good job from the Maverick Weldon Holden there. The number 7 car has a lot of confidence throughout this year. He's had a great season so far. And he was able to put space. It was only 2 laps ago. These cars were literally bumper to bumper. And at any moment, Tony was going to get around him. And I thought it was inevitable. What a recovery from Ian Ford.
Big battle brewing back here for the number 5th spot with Tony Ottridge, Marlon McMullen, Curtis Chipway's right there as well. 3-way battle for 5th.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on these cars the whole time. And Marlon McMullen, of course, if you're looking on, guys, in that Red Bull Holden, he's kind of in between. He's got the familiar face behind him in Curtis Chipaway. Those 2 guys have been working together for a long time. They're very familiar with each other's driving styles, and they're kind of working together there, I guess, on the Tony Ottridge in front. And Tony is doing a really good job in the Ford Falcon. He's not going to let those 2 Holdens around him. He's holding on very nicely in his super black racing Ford Falcon, the number 2 car. It's a cool looking car. It's all black, but it's kind of cool looking. Has a tough feel to it. I like it. Man, I tell you what, I love this track, and it provides such good racing. It really does. You know, it's not an ideal V8 supercar track probably for in the eyes of a lot, but it does provide some decent racing. Every time we come here, I've never been disappointed. And
Yeah,
this
it's always provided a good broadcast because the racing is so close, it's so difficult to pass. So the racing ends up being so close, and that's exactly what we're seeing here this week with a lot of these cars. Now, of course, Sean Kelly able to pull away out in front without nobody out in front of him, but everybody else really pretty close.
Well, I mean, John Latham is not far, Kane. He's in the picture. He's actually only a car length and a half back from the leader, Sean Kelly. I would not be surprised to see this go to a two-car battle. And I mean a battle for position very soon. In fact, it's already here.
Yeah, John's definitely caught him now.
Yeah, I mean, John has ran him down, and it's only a matter of time at the current pace. If this two right here, we don't have a lead change on our hands. And I was about to say right there before all that was going on was I'm going to be really interested to see how these cars start handling around lap 19, 20, 21. We'll start to find out who's got the late game juice, because I'm telling you what, man, us tires will find out who has some left and who doesn't. Oh, loose car, bad loose car right there from Sean Kelly in the lead. And a beautiful recovery there. But that car was really loose. That back end was swaying.
Yeah, Sean Kelly, definitely a talented driver, a V8 Supercars America's champion. We haven't seen Sean for several seasons, though. Once he won his championship, he kind of went on hiatus from the Americas Series, so I'm super glad to see Sean Kelly return to the V8 Supercars Americas.
Yeah, very excited to see him. That's why when I saw the field and I looked on the pole, I said I'm having some deja vu here, seeing Sean Kelly here, Brands Hatch. Well, he's doing a nice job right now, making sure that John Latham earns everything that he gets. Even with the car getting loose, he's still got a nice size gap on him. There's about a 2-car length gap between them now. And we go back to third. It's Vail Riches all by his lonesome, as Ian Ford has fallen back a little bit. And back a little bit more. It's broken into 2-car battles for Tony Ottridge and Marlon McMullen, and then another battle behind them between Curtis Chipaway and Nathan Shartner, a driver we haven't mentioned at all this race. And Nathan Shartner in the 8th position right now in the Sim Pit Falcon. He's moving along very nicely. He's going to give Curtis Chipaway a little bit of something to think about there, bud.
Yeah, he's definitely giving Curtis some serious pressure there. I want to see Nathan really try to take over that 7th place position here anytime.
Boy, pick your battles and watch them. There's so many of them. Michael Fulcher now still holding off Sam Sutton there. Sam trying to get up there and make this happen. Let's see what's going on between these two. Michael Fulcher able to stay in that 9th spot. It's just so many good battles out there on the track right now. You can't look away. Great one with Tony Ottridge and Marlon McMullen. That one's still going at it as the cars head into turn 2. The Red Bull Holden trying to get past that Super Black Falcon. So you got a classic Ford Holden battle going on, and it's for a top 5 position, guys. I love this.
There's even battles further on back, and for 13th position we got Dale Neese and Todd Arkell fighting for that 13th spot.
The battle for the lead starting to heat up again. Here comes John Latham making his way right back up to the Holden. TTR Sean Kelly, the former V8 Supercar America's champion, and he's holding on nicely, man. I tell you what, Sean Kelly's got that good sense going right now. Every lap or so, John Latham will get right up on the leader, Sean Kelly, and then Sean just finds some momentum or finds something and turns it on, and he'll turn it into about a 2-car gap lead. And here comes John Latham again as he starts to come back up on the TTR machine. And just a great battle up here for the lead. Good run from John Latham so far. For those that don't see the strategy in a heat run like this, this is you know, it's not a fuel saver, but it is a strategy when it comes to saving those tires. Do you just run flat out? You're going to be a little slower at the end, but if you can put a big enough gap on somebody, they're going to have trouble running you back down. On the other hand, if you push too hard early and you go over the top and you don't have enough go juice at the end, they can just catch up and run right all over you when it counts. So you got to balance it, and I think we got a good job of that going on up here at the front between John Latham and, of course, the leader, Sean Kelly. Boy, John is all in this battle right now. He is just waiting to pounce, staying right on the racing line, right there with Sean Kelly. And at any moment, and you got, you know, it's races like this, you got to be careful, Kane. They run away from us. They're so fast. We're already on lap 14. Go ahead and make that lap 15 as soon as they get around this turn. Lap 15 to 27 already. We're almost about to be 2/3 of the way through our race. That's just how fast this race is here. So it's currently on lap 15 here. And the TTR machine is still being able to hold off John Latham for the time being. Great run from Sean Kelly. Really, really proud of him being able to hold off John Latham here for a while now. Lots of pressure put on by John. And we'll keep you posted on that if things shall change.
A little bit further back, Tony Ottridge and Marlon McMullen check on that battle. Tony's pulled away about a car length or two from Marlon McMullen, but Marlon's still definitely in that battle. Curtis Chipway, and go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the battle I'm really good right now is Michael Cracknell running down Sam Collins up here. I'm really enjoying this. Is the battle for top 10 spot. Boy, I swear, as soon as I brought that up, Sam Collins just got a nitrous boost and was able to break it up to about a car length lead. He went off track there. That's going to bring side-by-side action, and that could be a big loss. There it is, the pass right there in front of your very eyes, guys. Michael Cracknell able to jump into the top 10 for the first time today. Boy, just that fast, Kane. I mean, it literally went from, Michael Cracknell not going to be able to get the pass, and a great job from Sam Collins to a small slip-up. Sam Collins gets a little loose, car gets out from under him a hair, and Michael Cracknell jumps all over.
And that's the kind of little mistake that can cost positions here at this track, and we could see that kind of thing happen clear throughout this field, even up in the top spots. Just the tiniest of little mistakes can cost a position.
It really is. It's so close. I mean, it's amazing that these guys can battle this good, this long. Curtis Chipaway's battle heating up really quick as he's battling with Nathan Shartner. Now this is the battle for 7th place. Curtis Chipaway in the Grip TV, Holden being able to hold on this position for the moment. That's another Ford Holden battle going on. Of course, Curtis Chipaway in the Holden, and the Ford Falcon, it is Nathan Shartner of Simpit in the Simpit Ford there. Great battle on our hands there. That is, of course, between those two. There's a battle ahead with Tony Ottridge and Marlon McMullen. And then ahead of them, it is Ian Ford in 4th. 3rd place, Vale Riches. He's kind of by himself for now. That could change. John Latham in 2nd place. And your leader, Sean Kelly. Sean has got about a half a car length lead. What a run out of turn 2 from Sean Kelly. We had a really, on the way in, I guess John Latham just came in a little too hot that time because he caught right up there on the end of Sean Kelly's TTR Holden, and then as they hit the exit, obviously Sean Kelly able to get a little bit of a better run out of it. But I'm really proud. I tell you what, John Latham really hung in there nicely, and even though he went in hot, he still was able to get out of the turn pretty decent. He's didn't fall out of it, and he didn't lose any time. He's still got about that car length and a half gap. Boy, look at him close it out every time. I mean, he'll fall to about a 2 car length difference between the two, and then he'll just start inching ever so closer every time.
Yeah, it's about almost a full second back now. 0.8 seconds back. That's about 3 car lengths, looks like, and he just gets to a certain part of the track where he can run it in a lot deeper, and he catches all that time right back up.
It's crazy. It's fun watching them. All right, the cars are just starting lap 18, so we have completed 17, guys, and that means we only have 10 laps to go. 10 to go. Gonna be interesting here. Man, we got a battle in the back of the field, guys. The battle for 15th is on, and or excuse me, that's not for 15. No way. Jason Dixon must be a lap down, and he is 3 laps down. So, and oh no, Michael Fulcher, guys, off the track. Not sure what happened, but he is 3 laps down. Let me see if I can go back and find out what happened to Michael Fulcher. I'll report and let you guys know. He was, if you remember, he was in the 9th position, and he was behind him. He had Sam Sutton in the Dayco machine, and that was another Ford Holden battle on the track. And I'll see if I can find out exactly what happened. They had a really good battle going. Everything was fine going through 3 and 4. 5, everything's still good. 6 is still good. And something has got to just happen here soon. All right, wasn't on that lap. It was on. Had to have been on lap 14.
Yeah, I'm not finding it, but yeah, definitely something happened there.
Okay, hold on. It's got to be right here. Oh yeah, big trouble for Michael Fulcher. His day may be even done. He was coming on using the exit curve here in the, I think that's right after about turn 6. He hit the exit curve and I guess got on the accelerator thinking he was still on the exit curve, but it just ends abruptly there, and there's nothing but grass right there. So he hit the accelerator in the grass, and it slung the car, and that car is going 96 miles per hour, Kane, at that point, and it just hits the wall at over 60 miles per hour, and that has got some heavy damage on his Sim-Pit Falcon. Tough break for the number 4 machine of Michael Fulcher there. He didn't even get to drive it back to the pits. He just had to do the quick tow. Yeah,
tough break for Fulch. We've seen Fulch be really fast this season. He's definitely had some good moments this season.
Man, I hate that for him. So with that, all that going down, Tony Ottridge has got some company still on his hand. Is behind him. Marlon McMullen remains to be seen. He is right there in the picture in 6th place. Of course, Tony Ottridge in 5th. 4th place is Ian Ford. And we move up to 3rd, where it's Vale Riches, and the battle for the lead is hotter than it's been in a while, as right now John Latham is almost right on the bumper of leader Sean Kelly. A good job from Sean Kelly out of turn 2 down the hill, and he actually put a little bit more space in between them, but still the best battle on the track, I'd have to say, is for the lead right now. Boy, it's awesome that we get a good race like this for the lead here at lap 20. Remember, I mentioned this in the pre-race. This was going to be a critical point in the race where we'd start to see who's got it and who doesn't, where those tires are at this point in the race. And right now, it looks like both John Latham and Sean Kelly's cars looking really good. John looked a little loose there, Kane. That might be some cause for concern.
Yeah, with 8 laps to go, I'm sure these guys' tires are just blistering.
Man, I don't understand it. I say that. He's right there in the picture.
A little wobbly for John Latham coming out of the turn there, but he didn't look like he cost him any time at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't understand it. The car looks to be a little loose, but he's hanging right in there. Oh, man, he gets a really good run. Oh, no, he got really wobbly. Oh, his car is getting out from under it. You really can see how blistered those tires are, guys. What a job from John Latham in the number 10 Cars Colton to hold on to that car. He really got it loose in two. Kane, I thought he was going to lose control.
Yeah,
completely.
he went in just a little too deep and looked like the tire slid just a little bit and had to take some evasive action. So that's definitely cost him some time. He's down a full second back behind Sean Kelly. But with 7 laps to go, I think we'll see him reel that second back in and give Sean another battle.
I know we will, as long as he can get the tires cooled back down, maybe. Yeah, he's already in the picture. I mean, it's not even an if. He's already almost there, Kane. The slightest mistake from Sean Kelly, and this is a big jump for John Latham. But you got lap traffic coming up, and that's always a cause for concern. Now, of course, you know, we always talk about the what's the word that I'm looking for? Camaraderie here, good sportsmanship and all that we talk about here in the Americas. So usually not a problem, but sometimes no matter what you do, lap traffic can be a mental block too. So we'll keep an eye on that and see. I'm sure that lap traffic will know to get right out of the way, and they will. I mean, it's Clifton Cockrell, so it should be no problem at all. But right now, you're starting to see it. Sean Kelly coming up on Clifton. We'll see how they do this. Now, Clifton's on the outside. Sean Kelly going to take the inside. No problem. But it could be a problem for John Latham. He's stuck between them, and that is a big problem. Finally able to get around him. That cost him a little bit of time.
No, I don't think it did. Looking at the scorecard, I think John might have used him as a little bit of a draft there. He's now 0.6 seconds behind Sean Kelly, so he's definitely gained. A little bit further back, the battle between Tony Aldridge and Marlon McMullen has heated back up a little bit. Marlon's reeled in some of that space and putting some pressure back on Tony Aldridge. The battle between Nathan Shartner and Curtis Chipway's heated back up. Nathan did get around Curtis a few laps back, but now Curtis putting some pressure on Nathan for that spot, to get that spot back. And another battle back in 12th, Todd Arkell and Dale Nish battling for the 12th spot. And we'll go back up here to the number 1 spot, check back in again with Sean Kelly and John Latham battle, as John Latham has gained up to about half a second back behind Sean Kelly now.
Man, I tell you what, watching these two right here, just such a fun battle. I haven't been able to take my eyes off of it. I'm really watching John Latham, and it's fun to watch him because Sean Kelly looks almost like the teacher, and John Latham looks like the student. Sean Kelly has looked like he's on a rail, like his car has been computer programmed, and it's perfect almost. It's just running the perfect race line, no wobble, no nothing. Car looks just stunning. And then you have John Latham, that car's loose as could be and sliding around the track, but good and mighty, he's right there running them down. He's right there in the picture. It's just so fun to watch.
Yeah, John definitely showing his skill as he's able to keep control of his car that is pretty loose. And we've seen him get really loose a few times and get some wobbles on the car. And of course, we just see him come out of that turn about sideways, it looked like, and keep control of it. And he's not losing much time. Matter of fact, he's staying right there at a half second back.
Okay, let's jump on board with John Latham here. A great opportunity to go on board and take a look at a lap here around Brands Hatch and chasing the leader down. If you guys look on board from the old cockpit view here, I'm actually with Sean Kelly. Let me get back here with Latham. All right, I'm on John Latham, of course. Big left-handed turn right here. This is the part you said to use the draft, and right now that would be the advantage for John Latham to use that draft on this straightaway here, the longest straightaway on the circuit here. Big right-hander here, and you can almost feel the weight shift when he goes into the turn there and how loose the car has to feel to these guys. Oh, using every bit of that exit curve. Look at that. I mean, that's turf there. That's not even asphalt. But the guy's using every bit of the AstroTurf there. And then here we go. Big left-hander. Oh, that turn is so fun for me when I'm driving. I love that turn. And then, of course, the final turn here. Very difficult turn to get just right. And you see what a job right there from Sean Kelly ahead of John Latham. And a good job from John as well. And they'll start a new lap here, guys. They'll start lap 25. Here's a tough turn. Turn 1 here is probably the most difficult turn on the track. It really is difficult to hit just right. You see John Latham catching the left side tires in the sand just a little bit, not enough to hurt. Great run into 2 from John Latham. He's going to try to look for some daylight on the exit here. Heading down into turn 3s, now 4. Good job right here. Running the inside line. He uses all the AstroTurf on exit. And just a great run from John here. Here on lap 25, Kane. This is a battle again.
Yep. He was down there.
Latham got loose. Let's see if that cost him here on this straightaway, Kane. It will. Sean Kelly starting to inch away. John does stay there, but that's going to put him about that 8/10 down again. Lap traffic is ahead. All right, Sean Kelly getting around lap traffic, no problem. And of course, John Latham gets around lap traffic, no problem as well. And we're going to be starting lap 26 now, so race is only a handful of, not even a full handful of laps to go left. We're looking at 3 laps to go. 2 laps now. I'm going to make that 2 laps to go. And right now, Sean Kelly has just a beautiful lead at the moment. Bell Rich is in 3rd. Of course, back in 4th, it is Ian Ford. And behind him, Marlon McMullen. In front of Marlon McMullen, it is, I don't know why he's showing up. There he is, Tony Ottridge. And this is a good 3-car battle, guys. Good 3-car battle for 4th. Right now, Ian Ford, he's been in 4th for almost the entire race. And right now, he's got a really good battle on his hands with Tony Ottridge and Marlon McMullen. Behind them, it's Curtis Chipway and Nathan Shartner. Sam Sutton coming up in 9th. Back in 10th, it's Michael Cracknell. Sam Collins on 11th. 12th, Todd Arkrell. Dale Nish, 13th. 14th, Adrian Hunter. Jason Dixon is marked in 18th back there. 15th is Joe Peak. And that is where we're at. And of course, your leader, Sean Kelly, getting ready to come around to get the white flag. And so this will be our final lap once they come around the final turn here at Brands Hatch. And let's see if one more push from John Latham can make the difference, or will Sean Kelly capture the checkered flag here in week 6 of the V8 Supercar America Series. The white flag's in the air, and Sean Kelly starts lap 27. And we're on that final run here at Brands Hatch in week 6. All right, big turn up here for John Latham. Let's see if he can get turn 2 to work out in his favor like he has in the past. He's going to come in. Let's see how hot. He didn't come in too hot. Good job right there from John. And a great run right there from the TTR Holden of Sean Kelly. And both cars really got in a good run. I think it's going to be a really, really hard for Latham to make it around Sean Kelly at this point in the ball game. Sean Kelly's car looks just a little bit better, a hair better. And right now, some connectivity issues for leader Sean Kelly. Hopefully that was just a one-time deal. Car popped in and out about 3 or 4 times, and it's back to good connection. And right now, everything in the clear for the number 5 car. And a great run here. Sean Kelly halfway done with his final lap. Let's see what happens on the latter half of the lap.
You want to mention Curtis Chipway managed to get back around Nathan Shartner and reclaimed his 7th place position.
Fantastic for him. Great run there. And here it is, guys. The final turn here, Brands Hatch in week 6. The TTR Holden of Sean Kelly. All he has to do is bring it home. Your winner at Brands Hatch, Sean Kelly. Second place, John Latham. Third place will go to Vale Riches. Good run from Vale. And look at this. Ian Ford has some company at the end, but will it be enough? No. Great run from both. Ian Ford will take fourth, and then fifth went to Tony Ottridge. Sixth, Marlon McMullen. There's Curtis Chipaway, as Kane mentioned, who got seventh place as he got around Nathan Shartner. And Nathan will finish eighth. And ninth went to Sam Sutton. 10th. Let me go look at the results here. 10th will go to Michael Cracknell. Sam Collins, 11th. Oh, battle for 12th between Dale Nish and Todd Arkrow, coming down side by side. What a run to the end from these guys. And good job there from Todd Arkell to take the 12th spot. 13th went to Dale Nish and the Petronas machine. Joe Peak finishes behind Adrian Hunter in 14th, so Joe takes 15th. 16th goes to Kevin Click. Clifton Cockerell should finish in 17th. We'll see how these guys do coming around here. 18th will go to Jason Dixon. 19th should go to Michael Fulcher, who finished 13 laps down. And, of course, Corey Preston will take the final spot on the field as he finishes 23 laps down. Unfortunately, early race incident for him. And I hate that because what a season Corey Preston has had. He's had a lot of speed this season, but he's had the incidents too, Kane.
Yeah, he's had the best season that he's had since we've started broadcasting the V8 Supercars America Series, and he's had a lot of speed. Just a couple little incidents, actually. I think he had one in the first week, but then he had several really good finishes in a row, and then, of course, this week kind of ended in catastrophe for him, but still a really good season for Corey.
Man, I was just watching Sean Kelly a minute ago. Sean Kelly, we mentioned earlier, former V8 Supercar America's champion. We haven't seen him run a lot since his championship season. Like you said, he kind of went on a hiatus there. And, boy, was it good to see him get back here on the track and not only just out on the track, but he dominated today. He had a tough challenge with John Latham battling him the entire 27 laps, and he prevailed at the end. What else can you ask for? A win from the pole, and just a great run there from Sean Kelly and the TTR Holden. I don't know if you caught that, but Sean Kelly was burning out and traffic come around on the final turn, and they had to split to avoid him. It was a celebration for Sean Kelly, which continue. But what a race, a really enjoyable race number 6. And what you saw today, guys, for the viewers out there, what you saw today will be completely different from next week. Next week we'll be at Bathurst, and it will be a totally different run than what we saw today. You'll see pit stop next week. You'll see lots of different types of driving, and it's just totally different experience. But what an enjoyable race here today at Brands Hatch, as Brands Hatch proves to be another great race. This place never seems to disappoint. And so mark another one in the books for a non-disappointing race, very entertaining race. And I'll do a quick rundown of the final results again now that everybody has officially crossed the finish line. Sean Kelly in the number 5 TTR Holden does come across victorious today. In second place, it goes to the number 10 machine of John Latham. And just, I can't say it enough. What a run from John Latham today in the Karsk Holden. Beautiful job for him. Vale Riches, his teammate, comes across in third and grabs the final spot on the podium. Just a great run for him. Ian Ford in the Maverick Weldon Holden finishes in fourth today. He had a lot of great battles that he was able to overcome as well. Tony Ottridge, a great run for him in the Super Black Racing Ford Falcon. He takes the fifth spot. Sixth went to Marlon McMullen, another former V8 Supercar America's champion in the Red Bull Holden. He took the He took the sixth place finish there in the number 3 car. Curtis Chipaway in the Grip TV Holden took seventh place today. A good run for him as well. As you mentioned late in the race, Kane, he did overcome Nathan Shartner in the Sim Pit Ford Falcon, who was able to finish eighth. Ninth went to Sam Sutton in the Dayco Holden. And the number 12 car did a good job today, finished ninth. And rounding out the top 10 today was another Sim Pit Holden there. It was actually Michael Cracknell in the number 9 car. Great run for him. And then we go back to 11th. It's Sam Collins in the number 13 Holden. Todd Arkell did a good job in the Bell Racing Holden. He finished back in 12th. 13th went to Dale Niche in the Patrones Holden. Adrian Hunter finished 14th in the Kimmy's Rural Fencing Holden. And Adrian Hunter, another good run for him. Back into 15th in the Global Sim Racing Ford Falcon. Went to Joe Peak as the 14 car had a good run today, and just a good run. A lot of the cars, even in the back of the field, great run. In the Super Cheap Auto Holden, Kevin Click finished in 16th. 17th went to Clifton Cockrell in the Thrustmaster Holden. Jason Dixon come across the finish line in 18th in the SimSpec Engineering Ford Falcon. Michael Fulcher, of course, we saw his incident late in the race, and he finished in 19th in his SimPit Falcon. And, of course, Corey Preston in the Apexi Ford Falcon took the final spot on the grid today, finishing 20th, 24 laps down. What a race. Really enjoyed that, Kane.
Yeah, can't argue. That was, bumper to bumper for several cars throughout the entire race. That race between Tony Ottridge, Marlon McMullen, Curtis Chipaway, Nathan Shartner, Ian Ford. That race was just huge. And then, of course, the race for the lead. It was just a fantastic race to watch from start to finish.
That's it. Tell the boys, let's line them up and run it again. I love those heat runs, but they're not. I just wish we had two of them. I wish we had 2 heat runs, and then on our longer runs, we just, of course, would run one of them. That was too much fun. I hate it's over already. But all the guys really deserve to give themselves a pat on the back that finished really in the top 13 or so. And I'll even say the top 14. Really, really good run today. How about this, though? The top 17 cars, I take that back, the top 15 cars finished on the lead lap. That's really good. Really good for the field as a whole. So, yeah, 15 cars finishing on the lead lap. Well, the time has come to get started with the Get Dirty MX post-race show. It's one of our favorite parts of the evening. And, of course, if you happen to just join us, I'm JD Smith, Kane Kraft with me as we get ready to head down for driver interviews and post-race reactions and talk with the guys about some of the issues around the league. And without further ado, let's bring our race winner in for a post-race interview, none other than the former V8 Supercar America's champion, John Kelly. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, pretty good. How are you guys?
And Sean, we're doing really good, but I tell you what, we're doing better now that you're here, man. It has been a while since we've had a chance to see you, nonetheless talk to you, buddy. First off, congratulations on the victory here at Brands Hatch in Week 6 of the V8 Supercar America season. Tell us a little bit about the run today.
Yeah, thanks. I think after that run, I'm going to have to invest in some racing gloves or something, just from the drop of the hat. Yeah, it was all on. Good, awesome pressure on John. And, he hasn't done much racing like myself. This is only my second race since the Bathurst 1000 back last October. So I really didn't know how I was going to go through on a set Madison done a couple of weeks ago from Alden Park. And, yeah, it turned out all right.
Yeah, man, I would say it turned out all right. That was really exciting. I really enjoyed seeing you out there on the track. I tell you what, it was almost like Kane and me both mentioned at one point during the race, it was almost like deja vu. Here we are at Brands Hatch, and Sean Kelly's out in the lead. We just hadn't seen you in a while, and it just felt like a couple seasons ago. And it's good to see you back out there, buddy.
Yeah, cheers. I came back one of the seasons, but it was a non-broadcast race, and but otherwise, a bit of work at the end of the year, and it's good to just have a little bit of a break now and again, and So yeah, back into it now. So I hope to pop into a few races, and be nice if I can, yeah, pick up some more wins. But yeah, it's close. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, it's awesome, to have you here, but for you just to pop in and get a win like this, hopefully it encourages you to come back and have some more fun with us.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'll be back for sure. I'll probably be back for 3 or 4 races for the rest of the year, for the rest of the season, I hope.
Man, that's great news. The big question, will you be back for Bathurst next week?
I think I have to, because out of all the tracks in the world, it's still my weakest track. So clearly, I need to put some time into it. So I think I'll have to actually.
Well, we'll be definitely looking forward to that. Sean, go enjoy the win, buddy. Actually, you can enjoy it, but hang here. We always have tons to talk about on the post-race show. But congratulations, man. It is really good to see you.
All do. Thanks, guys. It's good to talk to you guys again.
Absolutely, buddy. Like I said, hang tight. We got tons to talk about tonight. We had to run a little bit early last week, and so we'll make up for it tonight. All right, guys, let's bring in the guy that ran really good. I believe that's John Latham up there. I'm going to grab him and bring him in for an interview. John, welcome to the Get 30 MX post-race show. How are you today, sir?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm really good.
Man, I tell you what, buddy, tell us about that run out there today. Just from the start, a great run. The car looked really good all race, and just tell us about almost running down Sean Kelly there. Had to been a task hanging right there with him.
Yeah, it definitely is a really fun race. So I haven't raced with Sean for a fairly long time. So it's good to see him back out there. And yeah, man, like every time I'd get close to him, I'd start to get a little bit of understeer, and it just put me off enough, and he'd be able to gap me a little bit, and then I'd be able to pull it back. So, and where I possibly thought of getting a pass, I was like, oh, I don't have the traction out of here. So that was an epic battle and really good fun. Congrats to Sean, and congrats to my teammate Vale for getting third, I think. So yeah, really good fun.
Yeah, it was big fun, man. Vale did a wonderful job closing out the podium. Both of you guys looked really good. It was fun that you say that. We were watching you run, and I swear, every time you would get close to Sean, we could tell the car would give you a little bit of fits here and there. The car would get a little bit loose, and it'd just be enough for Sean to be able to drive back to get about that 0.8 of a second lead again. And it was just so fun to watch. You guys did that for 27 laps. And really, really made the broadcast entertaining tonight.
Yeah, no, it was especially great fun. So yeah, sometimes it was really loose on there. I was just going, oh geez, am I going to keep it on track here? And I was watching Sean do the same thing, and I think we even did it together on a couple of corners. And it was really great fun. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, I'll tell you what, John, it's always a pleasure to get a chance to talk to you, just like we told Sean. Good to see you here in the V8 Supercar America Series. You guys, we'd love to have you here. And we'll be looking forward to Bathurst next week, man. That's going to be, always one we look forward to every season. But y'all hang tight, man. We got tons to talk about here. We'll bring in a few other drivers, and then we got some issues to talk about around the league. And that is John Latham, everybody. A great performance from him today. And let's bring in next on let's bring in Ian Ford. Ian had a wonderful run today. So without further ado, we'll bring him in. Ian, welcome to the Get 30 MX post-race show, buddy. We'll have a word here with the driver of the Maverick, Weldon Holden. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good today, guys. I'm extremely lucky to have survived that race. I almost drove into the end of the pit walls, so that was pretty awkward.
Yeah, but you take that away, man. Let's just look at the race as a whole. Really big, I want to say call it an improvement, because it almost sounds like the other races haven't been good, but just a great run from you today, man. A really solid run from start to finish.
Oh, that's it. The car's the most balanced it's ever been. We just need to eke out a little bit more pace through the back section. That's pretty much where we're losing all our pace. And yeah, it's just a good race. It was a nice start to finish.
Well, it really was. It was fun watching. You had several good battles for position on your hand today. And not only that, you were victorious on those. You had some points in the race where you saw some strong pressure from Tony Attridge. And as you know, that's no stranger, to this series and being very successful. So good job being able to hold him and Marlon McMullen off.
Oh, thanks, man. It's just all comes down to like self belief and everything. Like I knew what the car could do. As soon as I got to slow down, I basically like Marlon and Tony almost overtook me, and I just put my head down, pulled like a 2-3 second lead, and then after that incident that with about 5 to go, I had to do the same thing, and only just held on that time because the tyres were a bit nuts. But I made it there. Definitely congrats to Sean for winning the race, and I definitely gave Vale everything I had at the start of the race. I was even pushing him around some of the corners.
Yeah, that was fun. At the very beginning of the race, you and Vale were going at it, and that was really, really fun to watch. You two at that point in the race had the best battle on the track. We got some real entertaining camera views out of that. That was really, really fun to watch. And fourth place finish, man. That's it's a good result, and should have you feeling very confident heading into Bathurst next week.
It's a bloody good result, and definitely Bathurst is going to be one of our strongest tracks of the season. So it's going to be all gears into that as soon as we get the set up a bit more sorted out for this week. And yeah, hopefully we get a decent podium there, or even a win if we're lucky.
And that sounds awesome, Ian. We'll be looking forward to that next week, buddy. Don't go nowhere. Hang with us, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in Marlon McMullen to have a word with him. But thanks again, Ian, for the words, buddy, and we'll have more with you in just a moment.
That's right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's Ian Ford, guys, driver of the Maverick Weldon Holden, and another great performance for him. Let's bring in a former champion, and we'll bring in. Well, if I can get him, we'll bring in the former champion, Marlon McMullen. Let's have a word with him. Marlon, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, sir. Another fun run out there on the track. It felt like you were in the heart of the intense racing for the entire race. Tell me a little bit about your day.
Yeah, g'day guys. Not really clicking with this track this week. Been a little bit of a struggle for me, but to come out today and have a really awesome battle with Tony and Ian sort of made up for the week of difficulties. So sort of head down, thumbs up in the race, and yeah, didn't get the best start I wanted to. It was unfortunately on the outside, and being on the outside, you sort of just want to survive the first lap, and yeah, it was watching all the carnage in the mirror unfold, and thankfully it wasn't a part of that. Fortunate to the guys who were, and yeah, sort of salvaged out an eighth after the first lap, and put my head down, made a couple of passes, and yeah, sort of stayed behind Tony, the whole race, and put as much pressure as I could on him, and yeah, he just did not make one mistake at all. I tried doing this, putting the car on different side of the track, and yeah, he held up really well. So just thought I'd stay behind him for a little bit and keep the tyres under check, and yeah, I don't know what happened to Ian at the end. He slowly started to make a couple of mistakes or something, and yeah, Tony and I were able to catch up, and it was awesome, three-way car battle to the end, it was really awesome. Loved it.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was made it really fun, and it definitely made it entertaining, especially at the end there. We looked, and it was Ian, you, and Tony all together. It was really exciting. I'll tell you what, though, Marlon, you talk about the troubles out on the track, but still a great result, man. Just outside of the top 5 today. And, of course, we go to Bathurst, a track that we've seen you run it before. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking out of next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have Curtis back, first of all. I mean, you've probably been seeing him the last couple of weeks, so it's good to have him back. So
yes, it is.
Have a little bit of support, a little bit of confidence having a team car going into a race with you, So it's good having him back. So we'll go to Bathurst. It's been a strong track for him and I the last few seasons, and it's just one of those tracks, and you can't really predict what's going to happen. It's just you got to stay out there and stay off the walls, really, and anything can happen, unfortunately, throughout Bathurst. So it's one of those awesome races, but it's also one of the most stressful races. So if we can come out of there doing pretty well, I'll be pretty happy, So been an awesome season though, this the whole entire season, especially with the battling. So I've really loved it, no matter what.
Boy, it has been a heck of a season. It's been a while since we have a season this close. This far into the season. That's what we were talking in the pre-race show. It's just how close it really is. But thanks a lot for all the words, Marlon. We got tons to talk about. We're going to have a word with your teammate now. So without further ado, let's bring in Curtis Chipaway to the show. Curtis, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, JD. That was a hell of a race.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Tell us a little bit about the run today, starting out of the 10th spot on the grid. A good day moving forward from that spot and able to come across in 7th today.
Yeah, that start was really hectic. That first couple turns is really scary in that big pack there. It was pretty hard to get by everybody. Almost hit a couple of cars too. It was pretty close there. Once you spread out, it was nice racing. Yeah.
Well, how did the car feel at the beginning of the race? I know a lot of people were concerned about how loose the track was and how slippery it was. Some others said it was too grippy. Now, I don't understand. I don't see how he had two different ends of the spectrum. But what did it feel like for you?
There was definitely a lot of grip, but it was easy to get loose though. It was, there was a lot of grip, but if you just touched the gas pedal a little too wrong, you would flick the rear end really hard. So you
That
definitely
makes
had to be
sense.
easy around the track. So made some last minute adjustments to make it a little smoother. So it
That
helped.
that makes sense. That makes really good sense. We saw a great run with John Latham there trying to run down the eventual winner of the race, Sean Kelly, and it was amazing. Going into turn two, John had really got on it going into two, and the car seemed to get loose, and I thought he was going to lose control. And he did an amazing job of getting the car back up under him and ended up not even losing any time on Sean. You have to see the broadcast. I don't know how it happened, but a really good job there saving it. But it was a good example of just getting on it a hair too much, and the car would just go away from you.
Yeah, it sounds exactly what happened to me a couple of times. But with the amount of grip that we had out there, it wasn't super easy to save it, but it was definitely not hard. It was not impossible.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'll tell you what, of course, we finished up first half of the season. What's some of the things you're looking for out of the second half of the season, buddy?
Uh, Honestly, I'm just looking forward to Bathurst to try and get a win there. That's about it. Other than that, I just want to push Marlin to get that championship.
No, that is about the best thing you could ever ask for out of a teammate right there, man. Fantastic stuff, Curtis. Hang tight with us, as always. We always got lots to talk about. We feel bad. We kind of had to run last week, so we're going to make up for it tonight. Have a good post-race show. But thanks for joining us, man. We're going to go ahead and bring in Michael Cracknell next and have a word with him. Actually, we'll bring in Sam. We'll bring in Sam first since he finished ninth. All right. All right, so without further ado, let's bring in Sam Sutton. Sam, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Man, we're doing good. Sam, we're happy to have you here on the post-race show, buddy. So a little bit looking at your race today. The number 12 car looked pretty good today. Started in 11th on the starting grid. Worked really hard all through the race and eventually come across in ninth place. So a top 10 here at Brands Hatch. Tell us a little bit about your run.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've raced this car. I think Bathurst last season was the last time I took this car out in anger and finished ninth. Overall, pretty happy. Wasn't too confident with the setup going in, but it lasted long enough to get me past Fulch, and then unfortunately Fulch made a mistake and he gave that place to me anyway. So overall, very happy with the race. Just wish I could get more pace out of the car.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and that's that comes with time and being in the car, working and working. But for you to jump in the car and do this good, very very impressive. And it's good to see you, man. It's really good to see you.
Yeah, I had a nice long Christmas break, and then I'm off again for another 2 weeks. So it's probably going to be one of my few races I do this season. But every time I jump in the Americas race, it's good fun. There's always good 2 to 3 car battles you end up finding myself in.
It really is. It is an amazing race every week. I feel like we haven't had a disappointing race in a while. We used to get them about every 2 to 3 weeks. We'd have that one race. It was just like a bleh race. But this year or this season, I can say this year, it's been an amazing race. I don't think we've had a bad one yet. It's each week we keep having really close races. This one we had battles all the way through the field from start to finish. Even at the end of the race, we still had another battle for like 15th, I believe, with Joe Peak and Adrian. I think they were going at it. Just different battles all throughout. And then, of course, at the end, it was really fun watching Ian Ford, Tony Ottridge, Marlin, of course, John Kelly and John Latham at the race for the win was fun too, just all the way through the field.
Yeah, I think both the new cars have put a couple of new guys into the series, and it helps that if they're enjoying the racing, they'll keep coming back. So we keep getting these good numbers like we do every week.
Yeah, very impressed. 3 full splits of 20 cars, something definitely to be happy with, and it makes the future look very positive for the series. And thanks a lot for the kind words there, Sam. We always enjoy talking to you. And next, I'm going to bring in Michael Cracknell, another great run, another good driver out there. So without further ado, Michael Cracknell, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, JD. Kane, how you guys going?
Man, we're doing wonderful, buddy. A top 10 finish today after starting 12th on the starting grid. Tell us a little bit about how the Sim Pit machine did today for you.
Yeah, I had a pretty good start, but I locked the rears going into 4, and I was either run out onto the grass or drill my teammate in Nathan. So I took to the grass, and I was second last there for a little bit, but it was just a matter of putting lap times together after that and just see where I end up. So I wasn't too bad in the end. I finished about where I expected to finish, and so I'll take it.
Absolutely. I was impressed. I thought you had a good run. I mean, I know you probably would always could have wished to do better, but a top 10 in this group is very, very notable, man. Very good run. And, it's Brands Hatch. We haven't been here in a while. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to going into Bathurst this week.
I'm looking forward to more speed than what I had here today, I think.
And that's good. I mean, Bathurst is a track that I still struggle to get around, nonetheless be fast at. So just to see how you guys run there is always entertaining to me and Kane and the viewers themselves. So we're really looking forward to seeing what you guys bring next week. It's such a fun week. I know I've heard rumblings of people in the past saying, do we have to have Bathurst every season? And I mean, we don't have to, but it's just so fun. I mean, a lot of the drivers love it. The viewers love it when we go there. It's a fun track to be at. It's a fun track to see. And I would think it's a fun track to race at.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be a proper V8 series if it didn't have Bathurst in it.
That's right. I mean, that's like, us in the, having a NASCAR season without Daytona in it. It just, you feel like you have to have it in there. It's Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's probably the most liked track amongst most of the drivers here, and now this series seems to be getting stronger and stronger as well on the Friday night for you guys, Saturday for us. So yeah, it's good to see some real quality drivers coming into the series and running.
Man, it is. I tell you what, now that we got everybody in here, I know we had a short post-race show last week, and I'm glad that all you guys stuck around this week. Really looking forward to Bathurst next week. I guess we can bring that up in the post-race show. We'll go ahead and talk about it. Looking at it, guys, on the paper, it is going to be, of course, week 7 of our season. So we'll be starting our second half of the season. It's 33 laps around the 4-mile track. Okay, that's going to be awesome. We will get to see pit stops next week instead of these heat runs that we're getting, even in these huge fuel tanks. I'm looking forward to that. Now, that's got to be something to think about because we just haven't had pit stop races like we used to in the past where they were almost commonplace. Now they're almost a rarity. What are you doing? I don't know. I don't know. Well, tell me about that. What is that something you're considering worrying about at all, or is it just the old thing of the past that's easy to do?
I think pit stops really throw the spanner in the works. Sometimes you really, I don't know if you have to. I find you have to. I have to do a lot of practice for pit stops because sometimes you just overshoot it and you can lose so much time in the pits if you make a mistake on entry or you speed into the pits. So yeah, it definitely throws up some challenges. And I mean, Bathurst, that's just a unrelenting track. You get things wrong there and you pay the price. So I mean, it's going to be a real challenge next week. So it should be really great to see everyone compete around there.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, from a viewer's point of view. Now, a lot of times we look at things more from a viewer's point of view than from a driver's point of view, just naturally as broadcasters. And it from a viewer's point of view and a fan's point of view, pit stops add that it factor to the race. They add that strategy factor. They add so much more than just the run, and I am looking forward to it tremendously. I love having the pit stops. I think that I could definitely understand from a driver's point of view why maybe you wouldn't want a pit stop race every time. You're having a good run going. It's just another thing that could possibly go wrong. And so I understand that. But for some guys, it's actually an opportunity to make up some time and, to actually move ahead or for the guy in front of you to make a mistake. So I could see where it could also be positive, but I know from a viewer's point of view and from the broadcast point of view, it really makes a broadcast wonderful, man. It really does. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying that I don't like pit stops, but they just they add the extra strategy into the race, and you really have to be like on the ball and make sure you do everything perfect. It's another aspect of racing which is adds a bit of flavour to the race. So rather than going flat out like for the whole race as a sprint race, to come in and change tyres, think about when you want to come in. Sometimes that's when it's great to have some of your teammates in the race, or or in team speak, and they can give you updates of what you can do. Much like the V8s online Bathurst 1000, we just had people helping us out, and that does make a big difference. So I mean, it's a bit harder doing it on your own because like Bathurst is a hard track, and to mentally take that all in plus work out your pit strategy when you're going to the pits, it's incredible.
I can only imagine. I really could. It's so exciting, and I love the fact that you said, John, that you said about the strategy point. Y'all know Kane and myself, we cover the NASCAR iRacing series, and of course, right now we've been covering on Tuesdays the NASCAR iRacing Pro Series. Those guys not only have to deal with one pit stop race, they're dealing with three, maybe four some weeks, and maybe more than that, depending on if there's cautions. But they have to bring in an actual crew chief or an engineer to help them, a spotter that comes in and does all that for them, because it's so much. There's so many different calls you have to make in a race like that. That strategy is such a big part. You need somebody that can look at from the outside looking in to help you out.
Yeah, exactly. That's just way too much for an individual driver to deal with. And, if you're thinking about anything other than the corner you're approaching, you typically lose time. So, yeah, I couldn't deal with that in ovals.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. You're right. It's a lot to deal with. And but I think, with the V8 series, having one is plenty acceptable.
Yeah, variety's nice, and nice. It's just nice to have options to run long or short or not take tires.
I do
And
like that.
but yeah, it's not much fun when you get outsmarted by your competition. But everyone's got opportunity to do something. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we all have to race the same race, and that's what I like. It's all the same for everybody. We all have to race the same schedule. We all race the same tracks, and so that's exciting. And if we had the same race types each week, a driver that is good at a certain race type would always win or always do good. And when we switch it up, I think it really has been the reasoning for the races being so, or the standings being so close. I really do. I think that it's contributed. We've had, I wish I had the results in front of me right now. I'd be able to tell you. But we've had, it seems like a new winner almost each week. I think we've had one repeat winner, maybe two, maybe not even. Yeah, but anyways, it's been each week. You never know who's going to win these races anymore. Used to, we'd go into a race on our Friday Nights Americas series, and we would know it's going to be one or two drivers going to win this thing. And now it's we could actually gamble on it, and it'd be scary.
Yeah, that's exactly that. When you got pit strategies, there's that 20% chance someone's going to be 2 or 3 spots either way. And yeah, I think I know you guys talking about qualifying last week. The Star Master Series introducing qualifying before races. I think that's pretty good because yeah, a lot of people do 4, sometimes even 20 qualifying sessions, and yeah, then it ends up just like a parade. Sometimes everyone's pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to see a move to that maybe for the official series to have a bit
Gosh,
of a
I would love it.
fuel tank restriction and qualifying before the race, and yeah, then we'd be really having some fun.
Yeah, I really don't see the downside to doing that. I
That's right.
really I really don't see, why we couldn't have have that in our races. I don't see why we couldn't have just before every race you have a qualifying session. It doesn't have to be an extremely long qualifying session. But I think that it would add to each race. Like I think, oh well, this race I qualified good, but next race I may not. It adds more to the race. You know what I mean? When you qualify in real life, you don't qualify once for all the races that week. No, you got to qualify for each race that you would race in.
That's right. I think like this car should be like a B class car, something, especially with the fuel tank, and yeah, because some some of us been around for 3, almost 4 years now, and yeah, you see, we've all been on either side of the table where one person's doing 2 qualifying sessions, and the competitors doing 8 or 10 sessions, and they get that 10 for 2, because they do so many attempts.
Yeah, how's that
So
fair?
what happens is, you get there's a lot of great races there 2 years ago, and I've been on both sides of it, and it's just too much to deal with every single week. So yeah, qualifying session before the race will pretty much solve half of that at least.
I think it would solve all of it because honestly, and I'm going to get to Caleb in an interview as soon as we're done with this just a second, but the thing is I believe that it would fix all of that. I mean, yeah, you're welcome to practice all you want, and that is an advantage that you have in sim racing that you don't have in real world racing. In real world racing, they have set practices, and you have a start and a stop time. And that is all the practice on track in your car that you get that week at that given track. And then everybody has the same amount of qualifying. That's it. It's all even across the board. Now, I am okay with having unlimited practice time. I mean, it's a sim. We want to practice and get better and better. But as far as qualifying goes, I think that if they got rid of the qualifying together, make it where if you get in a race, the qualifying happens before the race. We all qualify together, and then we all race together. It's even across the board. And I think that would just solve it all. I know that some guys are like, well, I don't want to qualify. But then you would have where you go into these races, and sometimes it's 3/4 of the field haven't even qualified. And then the top, whatever, 5 or 6 did. I hate that. I wish that everybody had a qualifying time. If you don't want to qualify, that's cool. You don't have to, but you're going to have to sit through qualifying while the others do it.
Yeah, it'll make it great for the series. And imagine the last 2 rounds, someone's leading the championship or whatever, the pressure's on, they put their banker lap in, they can't get another lap to complete, and they start 8th, and they've got to work their way up to 2nd and 3rd. It'd be awesome.
It really would.
And I think it just mixes it up so much better than what we have at the moment. So, like when I did the Star Mazda races a few weeks ago, it mixed it up. It was really good.
Well, one thing about Tony is he's always given us leniency in the series, and we always put up votes and stuff for the tracks and stuff. So I definitely think it's a possibility. Now that they've started testing it with the other series, with the Star Mazda series and stuff, and seeing how it goes. Now that we've been able to see that it's something that we like, I think we could probably ask for it.
I think so, because it's about moving away from rookie and D-class racing structures and just evolving a little bit, because otherwise a lot of people are forced into leagues. So, yeah.
And that's what iRacing doesn't want, is for stuff like this to start going towards leagues, because you lose the participation in these official series, and it really hurts, I think, the service as a whole. I really do. Before we move on, I do want to stay on this subject if we can, but I do want to have a quick word with Caleb. Caleb Jordan, guys, raced tonight in the second split and finished 7th, I believe. How you doing, Caleb?
Yeah, not too bad. How about you?
Man, we're doing great, man, and it's always a pleasure to bring somebody in from the second split or even the third split now, just to find out how those guys did. And tell us a little bit about your race and about how the race went as a whole there for the second split for those of the viewers out there that did not get a chance to see that race tonight.
Well, the second split was pretty quick for a second split. My race, I screwed myself on the third lap, and I fell back, I think, to last, and I worked my way back up to seventh. There was a few incidents throughout the race. The first lap was actually quite clean.
Man, very impressive, especially with the slippery track out there, especially without the tire pressures getting, for the cars get warmed up. But yeah, man, that sounds like you had a good run over there in the second split. Sorry you had a run in there at the beginning, but or in your race, but still seventh place, not bad at all. A top 10 for you out of a 20-car field, and you just keep doing what you're doing, man. You'll be in the top split in no time.
Yeah, I hear that Sean won the top split, so congratulations to you, mate.
Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, good luck and keep at it.
Yeah, keep going, mate. I know what it's like to be in the second split for I was in the second split for a long time. Sean was always in the first, and it took so long for me to finally break through. But once I did, there's always plenty of great racing. Yeah, and it's an extra challenge. So I mean, I went from being up the front in split 2 to going to split 1 and just going, what the, it's just, yeah, the amount of drivers that you look up to and you keep pushing towards to get towards them is great. So yeah, keep going, mate. Top stuff.
Man,
Yeah, thanks, heaps.
Yeah, fantastic. Words of encouragement there from both Sean Kelly and John Latham there, and that's what you want to hear, man. I mean, that's you're hearing it from some of the best in the business right there, Caleb.
Yeah, I think it's a common trend. What we're always seeing is the guys that get to the front of the second split, their pace typically translates to like a 12th place in the top split, and yeah, when they get in, they just got to let their pace work for themselves, not get into battles they don't need to, and just keep out of trouble and just let their pace do the work, and yeah, the results will come.
Fantastic, man. That is fantastic. With this participation growing in the series, like I said, I'm very impressed. 23 splits full of 20 cars. We've had 3 splits this entire season, guys, every race, no matter where we're at. I love it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we bring next week for Bathurst. I think we might get see a 4th split pop out for the first time ever, I believe. I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've ever seen one on the Friday night American split. But if we did, it would really be awesome. But anyways, back. I want to go back real quick and talk about what we're talking about with the qualifying and just the how hard would it be to change that? I mean, for iRacing, let's say that everybody, as the community, we all voiced our opinion, and iRacing says, okay, well, we agree with you, but what would be their holdback?
I don't think they would have a but now that they've done it for the Star Mazda. I think they've got the technology to do it, so it's just a matter of implementing it.
Yeah, I think definitely one of the things too. I didn't even know, like, I don't get on the forums and stuff too much, but to see that they're doing it with the Star Mazda, that's great. I wish I had a bit more time up my sleeve because I'd definitely go participate in that, so they see that it is popular. So anyone who has some spare time, probably it wouldn't be a bad idea to go over there. And I mean, I can't put my vote in. It's got a quite busy life at the moment. Saturdays is quite good for racing for me, but yeah, to go over there and try get a few official races, yeah, that would really show to iRacing. I think that this is what people want. People vote in the forums and stuff. I think that'll be will be quite effective in voicing the kind of iRacing memberships views on it.
Yeah,
I think it'd be an easy vote. I think most I can't really think of many people that would. I think everyone would be keen on it.
I think you're absolutely right, and you know, for the fact that they have listened to the community as far as with this series, um, I think it's huge with the Star Mazda. I actually last season raced in the Star Mazda series and I loved it. And they, or it was probably the season before that because they didn't have that set up yet. But that would have been amazing. And now that I didn't even know they had that until y'all just mentioned it. I really didn't know that they had done that for those guys. And now that I know that, that is awesome. I am definitely going to have to get back in the Star Mazda. I really enjoyed my run there. I'm not an open wheel driver at all, so I was not nothing to be impressed with. But it was a blast, and I tell you what, it was really good racemanship over there, good racecraft from all the drivers over there.
Yeah, definitely. And I've driven that car a few times in practice and stuff. I haven't actually done any racing in it, but that tire model on that car feels excellent. You can feel when it understeers, and it's really nice to drive. So, I mean, the V8's gotten a lot better. There's a bit more feel to it. For a while there, I didn't like it too much, but since it's kind of they've released this new tire model and the Holden and stuff, it's yeah, I'm really enjoying it quite a lot more. So I think they've made leaps and bounds in the last update or two that they've done, I think. So yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
awesome.
I would vote 10 times if I could for the new qualifying system. Like, yeah, it is so much better than what we've got here. Like Sean said, there's people that will do 20 qualifying sessions to get a time, and eventually, if you do that much, you are going to get a really good time. But there's other people like John, for instance, who doesn't have as much time that it would probably benefit people like that a little bit more. It's a bit of a disadvantage for those who have a lot of spare time, as opposed to those that don't get on as much through commitments, work, family, etc.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it'll benefit the guys that do do all our qualifying sessions. But to sort of make it in the series, you do have to really soak a lot of time in for a couple of months here and there. As you move up to the first split or want to move up a few positions, you have to really focus for a few months and put the extra time in. But it doesn't have to always be in lots of qualifying sessions. You can still do like lots of practice. But I don't know where I was going with it. But yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get what you're
definitely.
saying. You're saying it could be easier even for the guys that spend so much time
Yeah,
qualifying because they won't have to spend all that time qualifying. They can get more practice and race trim and and practices and stuff like that.
yeah, it'll force them to focus when they do qualifying, and they'll probably work out better for them.
Yeah, it would definitely make you a more consistent driver, I think, because that's definitely one of the things I know I've tried to work on over my time driving the V8. Because, I mean, sometimes you can just work to get one good lap out of it, but these days, if you can get like consistent laps out of it and do the same thing every lap, it makes you so much more confident to go into a qualifying and actually, hit your marks. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
practice does make perfect, but it's when you jump on, if you constantly concentrate on that rather than just trying to chuck it into a corner, it definitely will benefit.
yeah, because I think a lot of people, yeah, it's a fine line sometimes between being two or three tenths off. Sometimes you can think you're good, and you think, oh, I just have to come back 2 days later and qualify, and you come back 2 days later and you're 3 tenths off. Or sometimes you can practice so much that you start smoothing out all your inputs and you lose time. Sometimes you can over practice and end up slower. And I know everyone's experienced that. When you look at Madison or someone, sometimes they'll do as fast as lap in the first 10 minutes. Sometimes be 40 minutes later. But yeah, you can definitely do too much.
Well, I tell you what, boys, I've been really impressed with this series, with the V8 series as a whole. Now, I don't know how what we call the Monday night or the main series has been. I know, Sean, I know you racing that from time to time. Have you been over there lately?
No, this is my first race since October in this car.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it's my second race in the car. First race at Bathurst 8000. So yes, like John, Saturday suits me really, really well. Monday never suited me. So I love this time slot.
Yeah, definitely. It
yeah.
works very well, doesn't it?
Yeah, very well.
Well,
And
that's good.
if it sort of keeps going in the direction it's going, it's probably going to be a stronger field than the Monday slot at the moment too, because this is growing a lot quicker from what I can tell.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
already has been a few times.
Well, obviously I'm proud of that. You know what's cool about it, and what I was about to mention is I don't know why it works out this way, but it seems like the American primetime slot works out for the Australians, but when the Australians primetime slot does not work out for the Americans. For example, when we race on our time, of course my time it's 9 o'clock or 9:15 when we start. Kane, it's 8:15. For y'all, it's Saturday at what time when we start our races?
Me and Sean are from Perth, so we start at 10:15 a.m. So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, with the Monday night, I think they moved it back from like an hour or half an hour or something, and it made Monday nights for me and Sean to rush home from work. It was just, you come in a lot of times, you haven't even done a lap, you jump straight into the race. All right, guys, what are we doing? So to be able to do a bit of practice on a Saturday, wake up, it's not too early for us and it's not too late for you guys. So I think it's a really good mix. So I really hope more and more people come along to this because, thanks for getting it going, guys. It's a really great time slot.
Yeah, we'll get the rest of our weekend, and Monday was too late for guys in New Zealand, and it's late on Monday night for the guys on the East Coast too. But I think that time slot got cemented early on, like 4 years ago, and once something gets cemented on, it doesn't really change much. And also stopped, like I say, the Europeans and American guys racing in the strength of field races, and that's why I think look to get the Premier Series as well on a Sunday night. So even though the time of day and night might not be best, at least it would fall in the weekend for them.
Absolutely, man. And like I was saying a minute ago, as far as like the Americans, we can't make y'all's time slot because it's at 4 in the morning, 3 and 4 in the morning, which is about the most difficult time for us to race. I mean, I'd rather get up at 6 or 7 in the morning and I could race, or I could even race at like 2 or 3 in the morning. But it's right in the middle, so you can't.
That's the graveyard. That's the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a Monday morning, no less. But yeah, like I said, at least the Premier Series might be just similar time, but at least it's on a Sunday morning, so people that really want to do it can work around.
Well, you boys remember, anytime I did anything with V8's Online, when I would come over and do any of the Australian time slot races to help broadcast, even like with the Premier Series, Kane would have to call and wake me up at 3 in the morning my time. It'd be 2 in the morning his time, so that we could be ready. We'd have an hour to get ready for the broadcast. I'd have to wake up, drink a cup of coffee or 5, and go run around the block so I could wake up because my voice just sounded so terrible at that time in the morning because I just got up, and it was just it's so difficult.
It was, and as we get to the daylight savings time changes, where we're in daylight savings time and they're in daylight savings, it becomes 5:15 in the morning, and seems like the worst time ever.
Yeah.
I think right now it's at 5:15 for us is when their Monday race is.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I absolutely loved the Premier Series. I thought it was wonderful. I think it was a great idea, guys. I hope that y'all enjoy it and enjoyed it. I would love to be a full-time broadcaster on that series. Unfortunately, I do most of my working on the weekends, and with me working a double shift on Saturday and then having to get up and all night Saturday night and broadcast and then have to go to work Sunday morning, it was just almost impossible. I mean, I would try my best to be there, and I still sometimes would oversleep the alarm because I'd just be that tired. But it's an awesome series, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But
it is a great series. I absolutely love the Premier Series. They really thought it out so much, and it just gives the drivers I don't know, more of a sense of realism, I think. The way
It's a
that they
gem.
really, yeah, it's a
It,
Yeah, coming back
great
to
series.
those pit stop races and the dual races as well, 2 sprint races.
oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like the real life series. But yeah, like I say, coming back to to talk about the qualifying for races and everything else, and it's all tied into, uh, you know, it's just hard to compete at that level every single week. It's just too much every week, typically. So yeah, every 2 or 3 weeks suits everyone a lot better.
Yeah, well, no, go right ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, I definitely agree with Sean there. So, I mean, like me and I think Sean started maybe a little bit before me, but just racing every week, it really, once you've been doing it for a while, it really kind of it takes a lot of time. Like to do it at top level, it takes a lot of dedication, and sometimes you just get burnt out. You need a bit of a break. So yeah, I think the Premier Series have got it right that we're not racing every week. Um, I think yeah, definitely the qualifiers, um, during the actual race, like during the race broadcast and everything, definitely tie in very well. It definitely puts a pressure on to get a good lap, and yeah, it just makes the competition so much tighter. It's excellent.
Yeah, so we just need the official series to meet somewhere in the middle. I think yeah, just move away from rookie and D class type structures. So, but yeah, I love turning up to this event. It's awesome.
It's been a wonderful. I tell you what, like Kane and myself, I believe I can speak for both of us when I say this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kane, but this V8 Supercar America series has been more. I know this for me has been more than I'd ever asked for from it. It has given more than I ever could have expected. This is what Kane and me consider home. We love this series with a passion like no other. Um, I mean, it's, I don't know. I just feel like this is home for us. We've covered it for now, a little over a year and a half, I guess now, Kane, and maybe not even that long.
It's been
And,
over a year for sure.
yeah, it's been over a year, maybe getting close to the year and a half mark, but um, I love it to death, man. I really do. I've gotten to know all the drivers, and you guys are just an unbelievable group of guys. The viewers tend to love the show. We also do the NASCAR stuff, and of course, yes, I'm a huge NASCAR fan, and I'm not going to deny that I absolutely love doing my NASCAR stuff. But I just consider this home when I consider broadcasting. I feel like no matter what, this will always be our broadcast. I don't know. It's just ever since we got here, it's just felt that way. And I guess a lot of that's from you guys just welcoming Kane and me with open arms because y'all really did. Y'all didn't know us very well when we first got here, but you never really. You welcomed us right in from day one. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful relationship for broadcasters to have a series with drivers that appreciate what we do. And this series has grown tremendously because of it. I mean, each season we have tried to make things decent and give you guys a good broadcast. And but you guys are really ones to making the broadcast with this racing. The racing has gotten so good in this series. I just don't know what else to say about it. I mean, we look at the racing in this series now versus 2 or 3. Well, no, go back further. Go back 4 seasons ago, and it's like 2 different series, man. We get the field of strength is getting so high each week. It's just unreal. But yet we have battles all the way. Like we finished the race today, we had a battle for 15th. I mean, at the end of the race, and they raced their butts off all race long, and that's what I'm talking about. We would go into these races, guys, and we would just about be able to call the winner. And it's not that way anymore at all. And I tell you what, if we could add the qualifying to this series like we talked about, do you know how much better it would make this broadcast? Where me and King could jump on and cover qualifying, it would just be amazing to have not just that, but an official qualifying where each time really matters in the session we're in at the moment. Oh my goodness, would it make it? It would make this series so much. Oh man, icing on the
Yeah, I
cake, brother.
remember back whenever V8's Online Australia would broadcast the Australian Monday Night Series. They always made it a point to broadcast the qualifying sessions, and it added uh, it added something to the broadcast. You know, you and I not so much able to do that because the way it splits up the qualifying and everything, but it definitely was something that I enjoyed watching on the broadcast. So I think that it would be a nice addition to the broadcast.
Yeah, because the only problem, of course, with those broadcasters back then was of course, 10% of the time pole position might change, but effectively most of the grid is all set. So yeah, it'd be good. But no, it's awesome having you guys around, and having cameras, in these strip and field races helps sometimes. Not that you're thinking, oh, the camera's on me or something. There's something in the back of your mind that just helps you keep that focus up. And if you're
Yeah.
not focused, you're going to, especially around that Brands Hatch, you're going to find yourself in the fence, or you're just going to succumb to the pressure of someone else. So yeah.
And it helps, I think, keep some of the reckless driving down because,
Yeah.
people will be worried about being caught on the replay and things like that, and they don't want it broadcast to the world that they just took somebody out. Of course, we've
Yeah,
seen it a time or
absolutely.
two, but it does
Yeah, I
help.
remember, I don't know, old broadcasts, like 2 years ago. The commentators would be like, "Oh, there's action back in the pack," and the camera would immediately go to me. So obviously, I wasn't mixing it up and being too aggressive or not getting the space or something. I don't know, but yeah. So I think when I look back at everyone throughout the whole series, everyone's just got racing really good, got really good racecraft. So yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah, I try not to focus one bit on broadcast. I just try and drive. If I get distracted at all, it's not going to work well for me.
That's it, man. It is tough. Like when
Marty can
I,
actually listen to the broadcast
I
while
know
he's
it.
racing. I don't know how he does it.
That's what I was just fixing to say. I have no clue how he does that.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I could not do that. I struggle. I go. You think about the car. I did it at like just in the race before. I thought about what I should do to the car, and all of a sudden I go, oh, Sean's gotten away from me for like for half a second. I like, oh, better get a move on.
Yeah, I've done pretty much the same thing, probably about lap 19, 20, 21. When his tyre started to go away, I was thinking, should I touch the roll bars? Should I touch the brake bias? I was like, nah. Because as soon as you think about anything else, you're going to lose 2-3 temps, even on one corner.
And Brands Hatch is such a commitment. You've got to be so committed at Brands Hatch to get a lap time out of it. It's when you're racing 10 tenths, like I'm pretty sure Sean was going pretty hard, and I was trying as hard as I could to catch him. And sometimes like there was a few spots where I was still on the power and it was sliding sideways on some of the over the top of the hill. And I was going, oh, come on, hang on to this, don't fence it.
Oh, yeah, like I say, I'm going to go and buy some racing gloves because, yeah, that was a struggle.
Here's a question to ask you guys before we go. I'm sure some of the viewers out there that race would like to know this. I know we don't have a lot of drivers, but do you guys race in shoes, barefoot, or in socks? Let's go down the list.
Bare feet today because it's warm. This time of year is mainly bare feet. I wear hockey gloves that are fingerless, so it doesn't impede on, say, like using the buttons for bar adjustments or anything like that. But yeah, it's just generally bare feet. Socks during the winter because my feet get cold.
Yep, that's me. I'm the same way. All right, what about you, Curtis?
On my old pedals, I used to use socks only, but on these new ones, I've always worn my runners. So can't go shoeless. It feels really weird.
I heard that. What about you, John?
At the moment, because it's been quite warm over in WA, and I'm in a shed, so I've got the aircon on my computer to keep my computer from overheating, and I've kind of just in shorts and bare feet at the moment. So I put a sticky foam pad on the brake pedal. I've got just Fanatic V1s, and that's kind of made it so it doesn't dig into my feet, so I can actually race barefoot if I left foot brake. So yeah, that's what I've been doing anyway, just bare feet. I used to wear shoes. If I probably had a like a higher end set of pedals, I'd probably have to wear shoes as well because it kind of gives you I don't know. Yeah, there's a fine step between being kind of sim pedals like G27s and stuff, and you get used to using bare feet and stuff on that. And then you go when I first got, you know, I've done a few mods to my pedals and stuff to make the brakes stiffer. You know, I had to go to shoes because it felt more like a car. You know, I had to push
Right.
harder.
Yeah, I ran into the same thing, with my V2 pedals.
And last but not least, what about you, Sean?
Well, for me, nothing has changed over the last 2 years. The one investment I did make was in some high-end pedals. It didn't actually make me faster, but did consistently, and it meant I never have to think about what the pedals. They're just never ever concerned. And so for the last 2 years, I've raced with stocks with my high-end pedals, and my high-end pedals I've got set up really, really light. Like it's got like 60 kg load cell, but I'm probably only using 5 kg or something.
That's
So
how
yeah,
I am. Yeah.
so I've had exactly the same setup for the last 2 years, and for me it really helps not having to think about anything else. So yeah, so hot or cold, yeah, it's always socks.
There you go,
Yeah,
man.
Sean lives near the beach, so you know he's living the dream.
Yeah, yeah. I got 5 degrees cooler where John is, and he's there. Like I said, he's in a shed, and I know he's racing a couple of 38-degree days in a shed. Yeah, that's just insane.
See, I always
Yeah,
have
it's
to,
like having a bar.
I'm always
That's
having to
actually- that's
convert
actually a
y'all's.
simulation of the real cockpit, really.
I'm always having to mentally convert y'all's 38 degrees because our 38 degrees Fahrenheit is almost
That'd be
freezing.
cold, wouldn't it?
Wow.
38 is over 100.
Yeah, 38 is bloody hot.
Oh my God! Well, see, yeah, in America, in Fahrenheit, 38 is almost freezing. Like it's only 6 degrees above freezing.
Yep. You know the funny thing is though, Australia, like that's why it bugs me about their iRacing setup stuff is all the shocks and stuff like that. All the settings I mostly do in metric, but when I go to tires and stuff, I always have to go back to PSI. So yeah, it's weird. So most people over here, everything's metric, but yeah, actually when you go to do your tires or mostly your spring rates and stuff, it's all pounds per square inch and PSI and stuff. So yeah,
What?
it's a kind of mix of the two.
Well, even the local gas station is PSI, isn't it?
Yeah,
for us.
they are. Yeah, they
So is it-
actually have a button for KPA and PSI, and you always find it on PSI.
Yeah, it's like the one metric, yeah, as John says, which is, ended up, in Australia.
I wish it was that way with the temperature, because that's where I struggle the most, is converting the temperature. Because it changes. It's the 32 degrees is our freezing, where 0 is your freezing, but
Yeah.
it's not 32 degrees warm. Our 60 degrees isn't 92 degrees or whatever. They don't. The conversion rate's really weird.
Yeah, it's definitely with temperature, like yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the time in Perth, it's very. I mean, it's quite dry heat most of the time. It's not really a like muggy heat, but it's always pretty warm. I mean, like I think next week it's all like 39 degrees, 40 degrees, which I don't know. I mean, it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit all week. So, time for the beach and a beer.
I think I died of heat stroke.
Yeah, we've
No,
got a while.
that's where you have beer. That's what you got beer for. It keeps you hydrated.
That's right.
Keeps you sane too.
Yeah, it's definitely.
That it does. Well, boys, I've enjoyed the chat this week. I really appreciate everybody hanging around for the post-race show.
Yeah, I do want to thank everybody for hanging around. We have gotten a lot of positive comments on this post-race chat that we do. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I didn't necessarily think that it went over very good with people, and I was thinking about telling JD we need to cut it back, but I started getting a lot of comments on people who say, You know, I really like after the race is over, you guys talk with the drivers and it gives it more of a personal feel. So I've
Yeah,
probably
I think
had,
last week was just more going through 15 drivers at 5 minutes a pop or whatever. So, yeah, maybe, yeah, just more of the general chatting is great. I like it.
It adds a personal feel to the broadcast, and I believe you learn a lot as a viewer. If you're, a lot of our viewers are newer to iRacing, and some are not. Some are seasoned veterans. But whether you're a seasoned veteran or a new driver, there's so much to be learned from you guys. When you tell us stuff that you do and things that you're working on, and you may not realize it, but to those that don't get to talk to you guys all the time and stuff like that, they get an inside look at things that you do and things that they can work on to get better. And not only that, a lot of them watch you guys each week. They start to become fans and they want to hear what you got to say. I mean, just nothing, just that. You have fans, believe it or not. You have fans out there and they want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, well, more and more people are coming along, just going to shuffle us back. So yeah, I've never expected this. 2 years ago, I never expected to still be here. There's so many newcomers, but somehow I still was. So, yeah. But yeah, just love the series.
Oh, definitely. I think it has a really good community, iRacing. There's a lot of people that come here for the same reason, and that's like racing, like motorsport. I mean, everyone here like enjoys cars, enjoys motorsport, and to have a group where you don't have to have major financial backing, and even to, I mean, like I do go-karting. I haven't done it this year yet, but even that is expensive. Whereas sim racing, you can jump on, you can still talk to people. Okay, it might not be face to face, but you still have that camaraderie between each other. You as you do more racing, go into more practice rooms, you chat to people, and you go on people's team speaks, and you get to know people. And I think that's a really good thing. It can give everyone the basic same chance to do as good as possible without having to worry so much about your financial position, which is great, I think.
and the racing is very authentic. It's, that thrill you get from the bumper to bumper, looking for a shot to get to the inside, trying to outbrake your opponent. All that is racing, and it's very real. The racing aspect of it is real. If you're
Very real.
a race car driver and you want to satisfy that itch of the racing, is the competition. That's what got me into iRacing. Is it worked very well just to scratch that itch that where you love racing.
Yeah, I really I'd like to see it really become a little bit more like poker, where you got online poker and real poker. It's just like that, a really training tool where you can just get lots of experience in. Hopefully, lots of 12 and 14-year-old karters and up and comers and guys looking to make a career. Really put a lot of focus in, because that's what Scotty McLaughlin done. He done a lot of iRacing, a few years ago, and it probably helped him a little bit.
Definitely.
It's a great tool.
And I guess another funny thing is, like, I don't know if Sean feels it, but last week when I raced Suzuka, I got onto the grid and I was nervous. I was I felt nervous again. I hadn't felt that for a long time, and to come back and do a race and be nervous, it's actually competition now. You don't want to, because it's taken, I do take it quite seriously when I race, because it is racing, and you don't want to ruin other people's race. You don't want to ruin your own race, and so I do find sometimes I get nervous.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't race very often. Matter of fact, I haven't raced since July. But anytime I grid up, I am definitely nervous.
And that's good. Goes away. Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, that shows the intensity of it. It is intense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that race with Sean, then that I finished, and I think I've only just recovered. I got off the steering wheel. I was like, oh, geez, I need some water.
Yeah, we was in the same team. Was in the same TeamSpeak channel as well, but we was both so focused, not a word was said.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, boys, I appreciate everybody for, like I said, hanging with us and chatting with us throughout the post-race show. As always, does anybody else have anything else they'd like to us to cover or touch on before we head on and call it a night?
Just thanks again for doing the broadcast and making the series stronger. Yeah, there's more and more really good drivers coming into the series, and I think a lot of it is because of the broadcasts that you guys put on.
Well, we sure do appreciate that. It means a lot. Kane puts in so much work, guys. He really does. And well, he doesn't get to hear it enough, but he does an amazing job with this broadcast, and appreciate everything he does. All I do is get on here and yap. So for him, big thanks for everything we do, not only in this series, but throughout. Also, guys, be looking forward to the new show, All Jacked Up. Me and Kane will be starting our new radio and video show coming up real soon. It'll be starting the week of Speed Weeks in Real World NASCAR, which will be about the second week of February. So you guys look out for that. It's going to be a fun show, and I'm sure at one point in time you will be getting individual invites to come and join us on the show and have a chat with things racing, and it's going to be fun. It'll be a really fun show, and yeah, we look forward to that and hope you all we'll give you more information as we get closer to launch of that show. But thanks a lot, and a big thanks to all the sponsors again: V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and of course our very own V8's Online Superstore. I'm JD Smith. That's Kane Kraft with me tonight. And once again, a big thanks to all our drivers that joined us for today's Get Dirty MX Post Race Show: Michael Cracknell, Curtis Chipaway, John Latham, Sean Kelly, just to name a few. They're the ones that hung around. But until next week, guys, you're not going to want to miss it. We head out to the legendary Mount Panorama for Bathurst in Week 7 as we start our second half of the 2015 Season 1 V8 Supercar America Series. You're not going to want to miss it. Once again, I'm JD Smith. Y'all have a great night. Contact free. Contact free.
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line.